Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Path Peeps. And tonight's guests are the people who are running the Parachat UK conference. How are you doing?
Hello. Very well, thank you. Thank you, Jekyll. Yeah, you forgot our names, haven't you, already?
No, I put it Parachat, haven't I? Yeah, did Parachat. So,
I would ask how you are, but I already know you've got a dicky wrist, so that's
yeah. I'm doing really well. Oh, Nigel, thanks for sharing, and can't wait to see the hamster tomorrow. Yeah, I'm doing okay-ish, but I've got a slight injury, Nigel. But thanks so much for sharing. Thank you. Yeah, I think I've got brain fog as well, to be fair. That's what happens. Like, I'm just like, when you sort of get an injury, it hits you, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially when it's your right wrist. It's your right wrist and your right-handed, so you're really screwed, to be fair.
Yeah.
But you carry on. You're trying to open a tin opener. Dog food, you can't do it. It's a nightmare. Trying to use my teeth with it. Using my feet to hold the can, it just gets messy,
And I wanted to say something, but I decided not to.
No, you don't want to.
No. Hi, Andy. How are you doing? Hi there.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things, but yeah. So I think I've got hopefully it's not much more than 5 weeks stuck like this. But it won't stop me. Well, it's stopping me getting out and about, but luckily I hadn't got much booked. I'm away at the weekend, but then after that, I might have to be quiet, which unless I do some local investigations and stuff like that. So what got you both into the paranormal then in the first place? Yeah.
It kind of started because we're investigators of PSI. We started PSI in 2005. Well, I started it with my brother. Tony later joined me in about 2012. So we're pretty. How many years is that?
That's a while.
I think we've been on the go about 13 years, something like that. I mean, together, it's like we combined the two paranormal groups. Excuse me. And then just went into one. It just made sense.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we've been researching the paranormal. I've been doing it since I was 18, so 32 years for me personally.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah. I mean, as a background, we're very, very similar. It started with me as being a big fan of the old horror films of Frankenstein and
awesome.
Bela Lugosi and this, that, and the other. It was just that horror thing that got me into it.
Yeah.
It was eventually ghosts and spirits and this, that, and the other. And later on, I mean, we have had both careers in the church as well. So we do have that kind of
right. Okay.
It's either we find it's quite funny when people come on the lives and they try to be religious. Oh yeah, what about Santa? When you're quoting scripture back to them, they don't stick around. They go.
Yeah. So, which sort of church then? The spiritualist or the sort of religious side?
Well, I was in the Church of England.
Right. Okay.
I was Eucharistic minister. Doing sermons as well. I think yours was slightly different. Mine was slightly more happy clappy. I was a worship leader in a Pentecostal church.
Wow.
Which has churches worldwide, and it was a lot more shake a tambourine and play guitar and whatever. And it was it was good. But my I mean, one of my uncles, excuse me, my dad's uncle was actually the leader of Norwich Spiritualist Church. I know you were asking about Spiritualist Church.
Wow.
So we knew about that side of things from being kids, and we were kind of brought up around it, and which was pretty cool, which was pretty good. Hi, Tina. Hi, Jack. Hi, Andy.
Oh, wow. So that's quite a contrast between the two, obviously.
We have some interesting conversations. Just all about all aspects of things like that. It's I think that's why we don't take things too seriously. I think we've lived every single side of it. It's just a matter of fact now, isn't it? I don't think there's anything amazing for us anymore. It's just all right. Okay, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a problem with the transition between the church side and doing paranormal? Because sometimes there are issues, aren't they? People thinking, doing that, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, with
Okay,
the
not
Church of
jazz.
England, the church. I mean, I won't go too much into it.
No,
But why? No, it's no what.
intriguing.
Um, they knew I was an investigator for 4.5 years, but I started to become very popular, and the people were coming in off the street and asking me for advice. Can I come round to the house? The church didn't like it, and I kind of got asked to choose between helping people in the paranormal community or the church. I couldn't do
Wow.
both, so I kind of said, "Well, I mean, I'll say it now. I won't tell you what I said, but I kind of just
Yeah,
I stepped back from that particular church. I'm still studying theology and things, though. So
yeah. That's because you've got an inquiring mind, haven't you?
yeah, yeah,
You just
definitely,
sort of want to know more and more, and it's the knowledge, isn't it? I
it is.
guess.
I think the church as well need to kind of catch up with modern day
Oh,
as well.
definitely. Yeah,
They're
yeah,
still
yeah.
set maybe 2,000 years. That they're everything's as it is in the Bible still with them.
Mm.
It shouldn't be.
Still singing the Wesleyan hymns and this, that, and the other. No, but move on.
They need to modern.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely.
yeah. Because I used to go. I had to go to church and Sunday school as a child, and oh,
Yeah,
it's tedious, and it didn't do a lot for me, to be fair. So as soon as I was old enough, I sort of said, "Oh no, I don't want to go, mum." Yeah, upset my mum and my gran, but it's one of those, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
They,
Unfortunately, that's a familiar story, and it did leave quite a mark
yeah,
on some people. And it's a shame, you know.
yeah. But whether I'd sort of been brought up in a happy clappy one, if maybe would have hung around more, but rather
yeah.
than like sitting there watching the clock all the time, or
Yeah.
staring at the coffins in the church, or things like that,
Staring,
memorials.
Staring at the mummies.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, yeah, you're just looking everywhere, aren't you? Really, to be fair, when you're a
and
child. And
a few people that would just go to church for the free wine.
oh, there's not enough though, is there? Just one sip, isn't it?
Well, if you get the glass first, you just down it.
What are they going to do?
Well, exactly. That's right, isn't it? I know. I once made the mistake. My mum was like highly religious, and so is my gran. And I said, "Oh yeah, you have food and get pissed at my church." I couldn't help but say that. So yeah, it just came out. Whoops! It didn't go down well, to be fair, but hey, things
Yeah.
happen.
Am I allowed to do this if I'm driving?
Yeah, and often
Reverend.
there's a church across from a pub in a lot of villages as well, aren't there? So
Absolutely.
it's a natural progression from a lot of villages, isn't it? They go, they sort of speak to the Lord, and then just pop off across the road.
Oh, dude, we had some
Um,
great piss ups in ours. Excuse the friend.
you did, all right.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's well, that church, your
It
teas
was
and
great.
coffees, China teacups. You know what I mean? It weren't that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
mine was tea and coffee at the end. We didn't have bottles of wine.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking get togethers and this, that, and the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
which were away from the church.
Oh gosh, of course. Yeah, we get that. But yeah, but no, it was all well. It was. I was younger then, obviously. So it's a whole different life and culture in those days, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
things have moved on a lot, and I can see the church out the window, the original church I went to, and yeah, it's a beautiful building, and I love them for that. And they have got the sort of different environment and energy when you go in them, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, it
yeah,
is. Yeah.
And sort of always fascinated by them.
Well, I mean, they've always been seen as being such an important part of our culture,
Oh, definitely,
haven't
yeah.
they? It just, there are so many churches out there you can pick and choose. It's like music. If someone likes music, was it country and western, rock, jazz, whatever? There are that many different types.
Yeah, that's right.
mm.
Yeah, but I guess like when I started, it was just one type, wasn't it? Well, no, that's just the CV one. Obviously, there were different ones, but it's like the ones which I went to, wasn't it? And it's just that one church. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just fascinating. Then the transition between that and paranormal. Did you sort of ever go down the exorcism route then?
I, I'm still. I've inquired about what do they call it? They have a certain name for it. They don't call it really.
No,
them in the UK. It's more of like
Ordained. No.
it'll come to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went down that type of route.
You're talking about deliverance ministry.
That's it, deliverance ministry.
Right. Yeah.
But you still have to go through ordination for that.
Right. Okay.
I was with the Church of England, then I went over to Methodist. That didn't work out. My next step was the Catholic Church.
He gets bored.
No, it's finding the right one. That's what it is. Because
yeah. Why not? You know.
it pretty much it all means the same thing.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So
it's all the same goal, isn't it? Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a religious person, but you know, I'm open. That's what I mean. I'm open to this type of thing, paranormal work and things.
That's right. Yeah, because a lot within religion, they are, I assume, quite closed off. You know,
Yeah.
that is sort of the way it's put about, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah, it is. And another thing, I mean, the fascinating part of it is we've sat and had these conversations before, haven't we, about the spiritualist church, about the about the church, about church ministry, about them gifts of the spirit and things like that. And what they used to teach in ours was like healing, laying on of hands, prophecy. There was like messages in dreams and everything. And what we used to call it, one thing is reading people's mail. Now, if you weren't in a church, people would call you a psychic or
Right, okay.
say you had mediumistic skills. And we just, at the time, when we were walking the walk and paying our tithes and being good and doing our jobs in the church and stuff like that, these things came really, really easy because you were doing everything that was expected of you. You were actually on that spiritual path. If you weren't on a spiritual path in church, people outside the church or people in spiritualist church just call that raising your vibration by doing good things, thinking good thoughts, having a still mind, meditating, and you know, it's exactly the same thing. But called different things. And people in the church don't see that, and I don't think they want to see that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we've just got a question off Andy Linden.
Yeah, I was just going to put that up anyway, but yeah, we'll do that now then.
How long did it take us to get into the style of investigating that we do today? It took all these years from me being 18. But do you mean like the way, obviously you've seen how PSI investigate, Andy?
Yeah.
People think we're total skeptics. We're not. We're just level-headed.
You debunk quite a lot. I debunk everything, but you push and push to the nth degree.
The thing is, we know how a lot of things work. You know what equipment can interfere with equipment.
And the thing is, we can replicate what most people are trying to pass off as paranormal activity. And we're saying, look, guys, you know, look, all that's happening is this. And the things that we've done and replicated are in some things that people still haven't worked out on our TikTok channel and this, that. They're still asking us, how do you do the levitation trick and this, that, and the, but it's just simple stuff.
People fake a lot of things now just to get.
Oh, it's crap. I can't be bothered
so that's
with
why
it.
we started doing that, just explaining how they've done it in the beginning. But then people started getting nasty with us, didn't they? And
it's. I think people
don't they just?
There's not a lot of love in the paranormal community when it comes to thinking in a level-headed kind of style.
There isn't any love anyway, is there? You know, you've got the people around you, and you got your friends, and you like-minded people. But my gosh, you get a lot of nastiness.
And you know that's one of the reasons we've been talking about para-unity for years, but nobody else seems to have been interested. It's only when we had the chance to set this event up, we thought, hang on, let's just make it available to everybody, no charge. You know, we've absorbed
that is brilliant. Yeah,
and just let everybody come. Let's meet these guys. Let's put names to faces and just all get together and have a good time and hear what each other has been out doing. It's like the troops out at the weekend. That's the boots hitting the ground, actually in these places doing paranormal investigations, bringing their stuff to everybody, and it's new stuff. It's not stuff that's been peddled around. All these other talks, and they think, oh, I've seen this presentation before. No, it's all new stuff. That's the thing I'm excited about. Well, that's the thing we're both excited about.
It's people that are hands-on.
It's
proper investigators or ghost hunters.
It's homegrown stuff. It's their own stuff. And this is why we do it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's got to be in your blood. I don't think you just. I don't think you can just become an investigator. You've got to be of that inquisitive mind, and kind of like
Yeah.
saying, no, I don't want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I need to see this myself because this is almost unbelievable. 9 times out of 10, it is. You know, but
My stories are unbelievable, and I can't even put footage out because often it's through trance mediumship, and I can vouch that the person doesn't understand the information. And I've got 55 minutes of somebody talking to a killer, basically, and the dates, the names, and everything are there. And she didn't know all that info,
Yeah.
and had the accent as well. I didn't even know this person had that accent until you like look more into it and look more into the evidence what you get through. And it's stuff like I can't put on the internet because the stuff I get is really crazy, and a lot of it's quite physical as well.
Right.
Because somehow my circle are generally mediumistic people or empaths. So we sort of work on a different level and sort of bring the energy in. So it can be really mad. And it's more about like the experiences we get together rather than putting it out there.
Hi, Phil. Sorry.
yeah, and that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, because we do have some crazy times, and sort of really mad experiences. Like one was an article in the Haunted magazine I booked Matlock Pavilion, and it's really incredible what happened, and we put it in an article in the magazine, and Paul Stevenson was like astounded by it. But yeah, it happened, and it's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you put that filmed on YouTube, they'll say, "Oh, you did that, you did that." No, that this was, and oh dear,
Oh,
people.
yeah. The thing is, I mean, we've had conversation after conversation with people who say, "Oh, that's just rubbish. That doesn't happen." And our take on that is, and people who say, "Oh, well, but you believe in all this stuff, don't you?" We say, "No, It's almost like I think we labelled ourselves before as like paranormal atheists. It's like no, we're completely open to the idea of this being real, but that's why we go out looking for evidence, and we try to say if we don't think it's paranormal and we can replicate it and give a good reason why not, and then we will. We won't stifle ourselves. I mean, I think we have been lambasted for being outspoken in the past, but we can't help it because it's frustrating. And anything like that goes on in the paranormal, especially people who fake it regularly, all these ones just putting videos up of paranormal activity just for views.
I know.
They're not doing
Gosh.
they're not doing the paranormal people any favors at all by doing that. They're actually really, really damaging it because it just becomes a laughing stock.
We set up a couple of things what are on our YouTube channel where we faked it, but we didn't say anything. We wanted people to contact us to say
social experiments.
Yeah.
I mean, we always come out at the end of it, tell people what we've done, what experiment we've done,
how we did it, and
people were seeing all sorts of things. They were saying you've got demons there, demons over there. There's a ghost there. I'm like,
it's absolutely bizarre. Wasn't it? He's saying, no, that's not the point of this experiment. You're imagining half of this stuff. Stop it.
Oh no, it's mad though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a mad world.
It's a crazy, crazy world. Yeah.
Yeah. So Anthony Lewis, best thing is when they come along, we show that it's real and that's true. Yeah. But it's so different sort of going out there and then, what you see on YouTube. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't tend to waste my time on it. There are decent people like Andy Linden, brilliant Conjure Quest and Karen, and people put good content out, or people are good investigators, or people sort of host at fantastic locations and sort of help the heritage out as well. The ones who go to the heritage places and sort of put money back into the sort of communities and stuff and help with the historical buildings.
Yeah, absolutely. Perhaps promote the place at the same time.
Yeah.
I think what people fail to understand is if they go onto YouTube looking for a bit of a thrill and maybe we'll see a ghost in this video, it's a film of the investigation.
Yeah.
And you know as well as we do that real paranormal activity, especially of the poltergeist ilk, is incredibly rare. It's incredible. I think over the 13 years that we've been together as a team, I think we've managed to get 6 really, really good, solid EVPs, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that's 13 years. But every time we do get one, it makes the previous 2 years where we haven't got one, or
Yeah.
because it's like fishing. Sometimes you
Oh
just
gosh, yeah.
waiting for the fish to bite, and if they don't, it
Yeah.
doesn't. There's always next time, But it's
That's
got to be in your
right.
blood. It's got to be in your blood.
You know it's genuine
Yeah.
when nothing happens.
Absolutely.
We've sat there for 17, 18 hours in some places. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we just put that video out with nothing happening, but at least it's genuine.
But we didn't hate being there. We enjoyed the investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, most times, if we're on a road trip or anything, it starts from jumping in the van, getting all the gear in, and setting off down the motorway, and then we're just proud about, don't we? That's the start of the investigation for us. We enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's a thrill, isn't it? You book it. You're looking forward to it. The night comes. There you are. You're eager to go. You get in the car. You're so excited about it. And your friends, and like, if I organise like book locations, and everyone's chatting and, set up a chat. We're all chatting about it, all sorting out what we're going to do. And then sort of turn up. And then, if you're working behind, talking about it days after, then it's been a success.
Oh, yeah.
Even like the last investigation, not a lot happened, but a couple of people let some wind go loudly, and it just kept us going for ages, and it's just things like that, isn't it? It just it's mad, isn't it? But like,
did you hear that door opening?
It was, and now we are like mentioning it on Facebook without actually mentioning it. It's like the in joke, and it's always, oh, great night, and then we go, oh yeah, a bit windy, mate, and but it was just like, I've got it on video as well.
Always the usual subjects.
We've had somebody
or suspect.
Tracy.
We had somebody come round to a haunted location to help out, and they said, "It's demonic what you've got in here. Can you smell the sulphur?" And it was one of them. Kept breaking wind, and I actually said to them, "What have you had for tea? Have you had eggs or something?"
A plate full of dead rats.
And I was trying to pass it off as demonic.
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah.
That's pathetic, isn't it? You say that's when it gets pathetic. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I just can't be arsed with it. Luckily, like, I've sort of got a group, and like, I just invite like behind you people I've met on Facebook, and like, I think by the time I invite them in the group, I know how they investigate, and I know they're going to be up for it. I know they're going to try things. I know they're going to be real as well. I don't want to sort of go out with somebody who wants like just table tipping and all the public event stuff. That's not what I'm at, and I do go on public events, just to get sort of to the locations, and if I get something, you know what I mean? And because you can't get in the locations yourself sometimes, can you?
No.
It's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I tell you, one of the questions we get asked quite a lot: what's your favourite piece of equipment for a paranormal investigation? We always say the same thing: the video camera.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like the end result, isn't it? Catching something on film.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think we have been able to a couple of times.
That's good.
But it's always it's always there where you're not pointing the bloody thing, isn't it? And so we started to wear body cams, and we've actually caught more footage on our body cams where we haven't been looking.
Yeah.
Rather than our handheld cameras. Weirdly enough, that seems to be the way it works.
Interesting.
Who knows?
But you do, you do see it though, don't you? And it's when you're standing there, it happens in front of you sometimes. I've got a couple of body cams now, but I just set them on a tripod, and I might have actually got a door shutting the other day for no reason, but hopefully I've got it on video. Because it's got a wide-angled lens on anyway, isn't it? So
yeah.
Have you got? Do you use trail cams as well?
No, I haven't as yet. I'd wonder about that.
Yeah,
they're popular.
Motion censored. They're triggered by movement, so they're pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
I nearly sort of got some for outside purposes for nature, really. But But they are more and more mention the trail cams, don't they? But I've just got a couple of the like the police body cams, basically, that sort of thing. So they're brilliant. Voice recorder, because cameras can be affected. At least have audio backup. Yeah, but I don't get any EVPs.
Really?
I don't, not often. No.
We don't get a lot, do we? Really?
No. But it doesn't stop you caning it. You're in that room. All the lights are out in this building, wherever it may be. You can't see a hand in front of the face. Just the dim light of your EVP,
Yeah.
your digital recorder, and you must. It's got to be 40, 50, 60 messages because we leave each other alone. We like you'll do it downstairs, I'll do it upstairs. And our style of investigate is completely quiet unless you're asking out or doing what you need to do. So we don't disturb each other. I can't. We've never kind of got our heads around
people that sit there. I mean, I'm not picking on people by
or
saying
investigating in a massive team.
Yeah, some people will take something like a REM pod, which we've debunked, cat balls, and they'll put them there, fair enough, but they'll just sit watching them all night. I think that's a waste if you're in like a really nice location.
Yeah,
and go wandering around.
Yeah, well, that's the one. You've debunked the cat ball. Yeah, okay, we know the what's it, and yeah, but if they work on demand, and your voice isn't loud enough to set it off. And sometimes you're talking and it doesn't go off, but then when you're asking a direct question, can you light it for a yes? In the same tone of voice as if you've been speaking all night and it does activate and it does it more than one time. How do you say that works then?
See, there's a lot what can interfere with them. You know, the circuits are not shielded. I don't know if you watched the video what we did.
Yeah, I did.
There's a lot of things can interfere with the circuitry, not just the two-way radio, but all kinds of different things. Mobile phones, static.
And we also did say, we were very careful to say in the video that they can be used on investigations as long as they use it as an indicator for paranormal activity.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because if you look at one and it's not moving yet, it's going off. It's really difficult to determine what will set it off.
You need more evidence.
You
need something else with it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Has it been an errant frequency? Has it been because if you turn one on and leave it for hours, they will come on their own in a stable environment. But who knows? Some people say don't use EVP recorders for paranormal investigation. I absolutely love working with EVP pod. The thing is, if you go out with that set of tools that works for you, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
That's right. As long as people use them correctly and debunk them. Obviously, walkie-talkie like K2 or don't bother, and you just got to be realistic about what can interfere with these things.
I think I stopped using the term debunked. I started using explained because
I don't like.
We're not debunkers, are we? We're investigators.
I know when you first said it, you've debunked a lot of stuff. Oh no, it's not word. It's horrible. It
is, isn't it? It's just stereotypical. You've got to say that word. It's paranormal language, isn't it? Debunk. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is.
Andy said, "What do we think about RTC? Is it apps?"
Yeah.
We don't
ITC
use apps. We don't use apps.
No, nothing wrong with ITC communication at all. In fact, one of the progenitors of ITC communication, I mean, in the 70s and 80s, actually just used to live a few miles up the road in Hornsey. And there was a great book written about it. It's called The Ghost of 27 Megacycles. And I read this when I was 4. Wow. And absolutely frightened me to death. And then I read it again and thought, wow, my goodness, you mean they can come in using radio waves? We've built all kinds of things, haven't we? We built portals, we built all our own, we built raw DV microphones. Wow. Oh crikey, just all kinds of stuff. Just trying to find that one piece of equipment that will kind of
work. I like the Tesla Ghost Box.
Oh, the Tesla Ghost Box, that was absolutely
it doesn't require any power to work.
Oh, phenomenal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We need to use that more.
Yeah, I really think we do. It's like a really weird kind of crystal radio.
Yeah.
And you've got that diode in it with a cat's whisker in.
Germanium diode.
A germanium diode with a little cat's whisker, and it's just phenomenal.
It's affected by light. Light comes in through a crystal and triggers things.
Even the weight of photons can can, the weight of light itself can actually trigger a reaction in this damn thing. So it's got lots of things that can actually trigger it. It really does need shielding in a perfect spot when you use it and think, right, we don't want any errant signals to get to this thing. We had some really weird things through it the first time we actually set it up, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we never got it to work the same again.
I blew it up the first time.
Oh, blimey.
But
I
it was
what
brilliant.
I was doing messing around with it, and I just melted something on it. So we had to. I did the circuit again.
Oh, you melted the diode,
and then I knackered the resistor on it. So then you redid the thing with copper.
The variable capacity, you're knackered the variable capacity.
Oh my gosh.
But it was no, it's
trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. It's all these things in the pursuit of right. What's the bigger, better thing? What's going to be the next thing? And looking through these little weird inventions from Tesla and Rodiva in history and thinking, can we emulate that? There's got to be a circuit diagram there somewhere, and you can always find something that emulates it with modern electronics. And we built the law, haven't we?
Yeah.
But it's just. It's just a journey of discovery with it. I think one day, I mean, do you remember a thing called the Ghost Ark that was they were reeling it out about 6 or 7 years ago?
I mean, some of the guys watching will know that.
Yeah. I mean, it never actually made it into production, did it? I think because it did that many things all at one time, I don't think people are interested. It's good to have your separate pieces of equipment so you can monitor what each one's doing rather than having bulked all into one. And it was a great piece of it. It looked great, but I think people didn't like it because of that. It did too much, But information overload,
Yeah. It's just fascinating. I think I like the mystique of it.
Yeah.
I think if like everything was proven and there was a way to communicate, then I kind of lose my interest more. It's just a whole mystery, isn't it, behind it, and your head and the challenge and everything.
Exactly what I was saying earlier about it being the thrill of the chase. I mean, all sorts. I mean, we have a couple of vintage tape recorders, don't we, with the separate microphones? We use them sometimes. Well, I mean, who's to tell that they can? Hi, Babs. Who's to tell that they can? That a spirit prefers communicating in a digital fashion rather than an analog fashion.
Yeah.
Use the two together.
Yeah.
I
think it's going to be one of those things we'll never prove.
I hope not.
You
I hope not. Yeah, I really do hope not.
We've all got theories.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with theories. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've got old tape recorder as well. Yeah, that was brilliant. I rescued it from my dad's house when I sort of emptied the contents, and he had it, and it's like, oh my gosh, dictaphone. It had my granddad's voice on it as well. It's like, wow,
wonderful,
incredible. But yeah, brilliant. So trying to buy the tapes was expensive.
Yeah,
I've got them, but it's fine. Still works, does the job.
We
did a full investigation, old school, so we only used old equipment. And we dressed up really old as well. Like
awesome. Yeah.
So we was using old school techniques, what nobody really uses nowadays anyway.
And with let me just show you this.
Validate number phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Wait.
And there were no LED lighting involved. It was all the old incandescent torch and like this.
Oh wow! Gotcha.
It was fun, wasn't it? It was good. Yeah, it was good. With that weak yellow light.
So they've got devices to validate a number of phenomena to an extent, but we don't understand it yet. There will come a time that we will be able to explain it. I don't think we'll ever truly be able to say that we can communicate with the other side. That's my opinion.
No.
What about mediumship on that respect then?
I come from that background from a media. I did a lot of trance mediumship back in my early years.
You did that, right?
Work, missing persons. I know.
I think you even helped the police in one case.
Yeah, I've helped the police twice.
Wow.
You can. I believe it works, but there's not a lot of genuine people out there. A lot of people just want the title saying I'm a medium or I'm a psychic, because they like to be different, some people, if you know what I mean. That's what I've come across anyways.
Yeah, and yeah, I found it different because like I did development and I sort of did learn to speak, and it's got a bit rubbish at the moment. I don't know why, but
I think
one
when
thing or
people
another.
say prove it, because they will say that to certain people as well. We've had that.
Yeah,
So we then have to go away and research the history to somewhere maybe, or
But then again, we just say, well, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. That's why
hmm
we're out. That's why we're paranormal investigators. What have
yeah,
you done to come to your conclusions? And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be absolutely nothing. But sit home and watch TV every night.
I can tell
It's,
yeah.
I can tell you something. Tony and I, both in the Warren Foundation in America, members, we were
Right,
the
okay.
investigators for the Warrens.
Yeah.
We did it online to help families in America.
hmm
They had what they're like remote viewers that would they sent remote viewers out to investigate just in spirit or whatever they do, energy.
Yeah.
We put a test to them saying
the PSR remote viewing challenge.
a simple test. I won't go into it, but none of them took that test up.
Yeah, and none in the UK did either.
Interesting.
Which
Yeah.
we were quite flabbergasted.
It's not because we wanted to make them look foolish or anything. It's
we
that
wanted to see it. Wouldn't it be good if it was said, "Wow,
we were just interested.
my
in
goodness, they can actually do it."
Yeah, I've had a go at remote viewing. It was Paragon actually, and that was at Coombe Abbey, and there's a guy with us at Coombe Abbey who contacted the US and asked information to see what they would get of the room and everything else. And they got bits, but then we did it the other way where we were sort of saying what their surroundings were. And I got some of what their surroundings were, but then whether it was so generic, like it's
Yeah.
there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it annoys you sometimes with me. The thing is, when I look for evidence like that, of people looking around and seeing physical evidence, it needs to be spot on. It needs
Yeah,
to be
that's right.
absolutely spot on. And you're right using the word generic because people
That's
are.
right.
Yeah, I mean, most people are generic with these kind of things, and it's frustrating. You say, no, just tell me what X, Y, Z. Oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
Or another good. Listen, hey, we've not. We never have a massive downer on psychics or mediums. Absolutely not. I know they're out there. In my career as a paranormal investigator, and we both have our own skill sets. I mean, I've been a tarot reader for 40 years. Mark does his jam, you know.
Yeah, trance as well.
I've met one mediumistic lady. She was called Linda. Don't know her second name, and she was actually she did me a tarot reading, and I was in my mid-20s.
Wow.
And she blew me away. And I knew exactly what to do. Sit there, poker face, don't give any clues.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
very first thing she said to me, and this led me further down the path of tarot. I was that impressed. The first thing that she said to me was, And she started doing this. Oh, what's she doing? She says, oh, I can feel rhythm. She said, are you, She said, I'm going to ask you a question. It doesn't usually work this way. I'm going to ask you a question. She said, are you a drummer? And I went, just to put you in the picture, I'd learned the drums at my junior school. I started learning them when I was 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I'd got jobs in bands and this, that, and the other. And I'd given up drumming to move like more to the front of the band. And I said, well, I've got to be honest. I said, yeah, I used to be, but not anymore. And she said, oh, you will. Yeah. She said, yeah, I can feel you doing this. And the thing she told me, and the things are happening today. And sometimes I think, oh, God, and it'll spark an old memory of what she said. God, she saw that. She saw that all that time ago. But it was the thing where she said she didn't know what it was, and I was in a black suit, and it was a worldwide movement. And she said, but I can't see any further into it. I thought, what on earth could that be? So many years down the line, I found out exactly what that was. And I thought, no wonder she couldn't see into it. I won't go into any other.
Right, okay.
That was fascinating.
But isn't
You know,
it strange how you remember this? You've met
yeah,
loads of people and you specifically remember this conversation with this lady called Linda about 20 years ago, whatever.
because it was so easy for her, and there was no work in getting information from me whatsoever. Whatever she asked, I gave her very little. I only agreed with her on what was right, and she was coming out with names and scenarios and this and that.
That's cool.
All each and every one of them unfolded, like up to now. And every time something new happens, I think, my God, she said that as well. And it's
That's incredible, isn't it?
and that's one medium in all my career as a paranormal investigator.
Well, I'll mention what the suits are if you want.
Oh well, yeah, go ahead.
So we're both Freemasons as well. We're Master Masons.
Right. Okay.
Society and all that.
So it's no wonder she couldn't see into it, but she saw.
Yeah, because it's
That's the way. That's the way. She said you're a member of a unit, almost an army, but it's a dark uniform. And I thought, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Then it's a global thing. It's all around the world. I thought, what on earth could that be?
We've got our fingers in a lot of things.
Well, you do, don't you? You know, and you know to get stuff like that is incredible. Really is.
Oh, yeah.
We can read a lot of symbology as well.
That's useful.
It's a massive Masonic thing. It's what's that chap's name? Who came to speak a few times?
I can't remember. I know you mean that.
Yeah.
It's a secret. Can't tell you.
Well, don't probably not say his name on here. But we had a chap come to do a few talks.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
And it was do you know Tom Hanks' character in Angels and Demons and that
Da
Vinci Code? His character was based on this guy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he was a lovely old chap, wasn't he? Yeah. I cannot remember his name, but he was a massive symbologist. He was a doctor in what he did, and absolutely just wow, did he know his stuff? It was just blow our socks off, just fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But yeah, it's kind of what you do find in this field, though, isn't it? You know, the people you meet and the different forms of knowledge as well, and the different areas. You know, you've got your Bigfoot, your cryptids, everything. You know, and the whole what makes it up, really.
Well, that's one of the reasons that we know as much as we do. We're not blowing anybody's trumpet, but we're the sum total of everybody we've met in the paranormal field, and we brought a little bit back and felt, wow. It's like Richard Felix taught me one important thing. He said, when we were down there, he says, you know where the word paranormal comes from, don't you? You know, it's no. He said, right, it's a Latin para, meaning short for parallel, and the normal, which just means normal. He said it's something that runs parallel to the norm, is the paranormal. And you think, oh well, when you had it break down like that by someone like Richard Felix, it completely makes sense. And I thought, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah,
I would have felt so clever if I'd have worked that out myself.
Yeah. Oh no, he is incredible. I used to sort of host at the jail for a little bit as well, and I've met Richard quite a few times. It's a great guy.
He's absolutely lovely, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh my God, he's bloody awesome. Yeah, I told him off last time. Last time I saw him, I told him off. Because like he'd been in hospital, then a week after he's at the damn jail. Yeah. And first thing I say, like, what are you doing here? Because like just a week after he'd had heart surgery.
Well, it's hardcore, isn't he?
I know, but oh my gosh, but yeah, bless him.
Yeah,
you know,
he's done well.
It is incredible, yeah, because he had a terminal illness at the age of 18. I didn't kind of think, you know, and is amazing guy, he really is. But yeah.
It's kind of like the knowledge that he's got. You can tell he has a real passion for it. I mean, he came to open up for us at Derby Jail, and he ended up staying like 5 hours.
He's
at the end, he said, just lock him up and post him through. He said,
"I'll for beer if you want one."
Great, yeah, thanks, Richard. Bye.
Yeah, he is good, and and he starts talking in his stories. Bless him. Yeah.
We have emailed him to be a speaker at another event, but he was obviously just fallen ill.
Yeah, and then he fell ill. So I thought, just leave him be. I don't want to pile a lot on his plate. Just leave him be for now.
Oh, he does too much. He really does. Yeah. He did a haunted pub bus trip a couple of weeks ago because I was out of jail. And he was like doing that for the day. Like, I think it started really early, and I think they finished about 11 o'clock, for God's sake.
Wow.
So, no, it started at 3, I think, and finished at 11. Because a couple sort of ended up at the jail to sort of lock up at 2, you see. And it's like, Jesus, you know. And, he'll be telling stories most of that time.
Oh, there's no stopping some people.
Yeah, well, no, that's it. And oh my gosh. Yeah, he's incredible. I think I've known him sort of last 6 years, been going to his parties and I've been going away as well. My mate sort of books weekends away and, I've been going and staying at the same hotel, or even the Fleece, who stayed up. Fleece and Richard was there. Having brekkie with him and his wife and and drinks after and everything. It's just like, they're both so cool. But it's always great to see them when I do.
Are we all right? Giving a shout out to the speakers that are coming along to this
event?
Please
do. Yeah. So we've spoken about you, but obviously now we sort of get on to sort of para chat, and we sort of mentioned obviously the para unity thing. Anyway.
No, it's been good. No, I mean, we like this, don't we? I mean, this in a time where most people think the art of conversation is dying because there's so much of this going on. There's no conversation. It's crap. It's horrible.
I never know where the conversation's going to go, and it's certainly like starting off from religion. That was a new one on me. But and it's probably the first time we've spoken about religion in the 5 years I've done this.
Yeah.
Well, it's there, isn't it?
If you think about it, it is the weirdest thing, isn't it? Talking about these superior beings, talking about a godlike man who come to Earth who had these magical powers, and even crikey, if you want to see anything close to high magic, you go see a high Catholic mass, and you tell me that isn't magic that they're performing at the front. With the censer, with the smells, and the sacrificial blood, which is wine. And
do you know, while they're doing the mass, the Eucharist, that is the closest that heaven meets earth at that particular moment in time. The energy is unbelievable.
And I say it is a magic ritual.
I'm not going to get back into religion.
Ritual. No. Oh no, we're not getting back into that. It is the closest thing to a magic ritual that you will be invited to, and it's magic. It's a magic.
Yeah.
Magic
But
ritual.
no, it is fascinating, like similarities, and yet one side, like people, no, we don't believe in that, we can't believe in that.
Yeah.
And like Richard Felix often mentions the theory about religion and the ghosts sort of happening more because they were basically told that if you're bad or you get hung, then you won't go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell, and all this, and demons and everything.
Yeah.
And that's what Richard Felix thinks like a lot of this ghost thing's about. And you've got the links with the religion, haven't you?
Yeah,
it's people's belief system of back in the day.
I mean, who knows? But it's interesting nonetheless, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
I mean, but there are definite links there.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
I was. It was really weird. Like I sometimes get these random questions, and I was at the nunnery. I don't know if you've been there yet. An incredible location.
No.
Down Worcester Way. The nunnery.
All right.
It is a former nunnery. It's like an abandoned building, and Nat Lawrence took it on, and she sort of hides it out for paranormal. And it's an incredible place. And like we seem to be communicating with a sister. And I sort of said like something about. I sort of got the link then about her, did they communicate with spirit? But what they call spirit was like their religious, but it's the same as what we sort of communicate with, but
just a different name.
It's just different, yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously they did do the prayers and they did the meditations, didn't they? So, sort of sitting in rooms and you've got the similarities there, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, they'd be absolutely mortified if you called one of their prayers an incantation.
Yeah.
But then again, if you were asked to point out the difference between a prayer, you're asking that divine spirit, well, please look after us, please make sure so and so's fed, and blah blah blah. Sort of,
Yeah.
you know. Do you think there are doorways that should not be open, Anthony Lewis? Good question. What's your take on that, Jacqueline?
I have been involved something Haunted Antiques do the Demons Connections, and I was actually involved in one of the lives of one of those when they called in to speak to a named demon, and they've got a way of sort of Jane did a form of ritual which nobody saw, and something came through, and I was getting images in my head, and which, when you check it, was what was said to be. Mickey York, I think, was there, or West London Paranormal, I think. Oh God, I don't know if it was that one or a séance, but yeah, and it was intriguing because everyone thinks that a demon is like nasty, whatever, but what they have sort of been getting through on their communications is totally different to what people expect it to be. And like it's just like what people have said through the ages, isn't it? Demons are bad. They've got the red face and two horns and that's it. But no, they're not. Each one's supposed to be different.
There's even ones. I mean, we've given little presentations about this, haven't we? When we used to do the radio show and stuff like that. But there's one particular demon called, I think it's Agaris, who causes love between people. He causes people to come together and fall in love. Yeah. How demonic is that? And you're right, exactly. Using the word demonized, and they themselves have actually been demonized. And then you can look at angels, and then you got Michael, who's this warring, blade-wielding angel, who's just, if that is the case, how many spiritual beings has he killed, and for what, at what cost, and for what reason?
Yeah.
You can look at things, you can weigh things up both ways.
Yeah.
It's I think, like, at the end of the day, as far as the stories go, you get good angels, you get bad angels, you get good demons, you get bad demons. Yeah. And I think the terminology has all got mixed around. Coming to the conclusion that they are one and the same thing, but just differ by name.
Well, being I'm different, but
what do you think then?
Everybody has an opinion, Mark.
I mean, this guy, I can't remember his name, just said, "Is there any doors you shouldn't open?" I don't think people should dabble if they don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely,
don't mess with that sort of thing.
Do we truly know what we're doing?
Well,
I think, I think some more than others, but that's only down to your experience. It's like if you open a seance, we've conducted seances, we've opened them and conducted them and closed them down correctly. Whether people know that that's the correct method or not, what you're doing is you're appealing to the subconscious and you're making them feel safe, and they're thinking this is the right way, so it becomes the right way. If you don't do anything at all, someone whispers to them, "Oh, something could creep in," because they never closed it down. If someone doesn't, that's the kind of experience that I'm talking about. Whether you're frightened by anything, and then they're going to be walking on hot coals for the next week, thinking, "Oh, something's going to happen to me." But then again, you could argue that that's a purely psychological thing. You're putting someone at ease.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're saying this ritual over them. You will be okay because I'm saying these words. It's as easy as that. But it is all down to experience. Construct those fences, set your safeguards, and at least have some idea of knowing what you're doing. If you do want to go down that road, don't go into it blindly. That's what we tell you.
God, no. Yeah, that's right.
At least have a fallback plan.
Yeah.
Whether it's just the Lord's Prayer or something like that.
That's right.
That's right, though, isn't it? I mean, people just don't think like that.
That's right, because I do know people who, there's a specific person who'd been quoting all demonic stuff, and he was kind of obsessed with it, and it kind of seems to affect his health and everything, and it really doesn't help with the mental well-being, does it?
No.
And to go into that route, it's
we knew one of them.
And it's like really not good to be that.
Shouldn't mess about with stuff like that if you got no idea. If you're just trying to get a reaction, I would recommend people don't go down that road, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no surer or quicker way to actually lower your vibration. If you want to take these, takes you further away from the kind of spirits you want to get close to and open to. Psychology is that playing paranormal investigation. Sometimes,
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's right.
Absolutely.
Hey, Gary. Just been mentioning demons. Gary, yeah. Gary sorted something for me. Long story. Yeah. It wasn't the pleasant entity. And it took him out on Shell Island. And then I get an issue with my wrist on Shell Island when I should actually have met up with him. So it's a bit odd. There's more coincidences than that as well. So yeah. So I'm not saying that was not an accident, but there's other things as well. But who knows, you know. Do you ever go in and clean up after an event? Oh dear.
Yeah. We have.
That's the problem, isn't it? You know.
We've had teams go in to somebody's house quite a few times, and then the owner of this house then has rang us up, said, "Can you come in? I've just had this team in, and they're telling me I've got demons running around."
Or they've just made things worse.
Yeah. They've done Ouija boards, all sorts. We've had to go
you can't
explain. So we've gone in after other teams cleaning their mess up.
Believe me, it's whatever appeals to the person who we're cleaning the mess up for. If they want to see a smudging kit, we'll go in with the smudging kit, and we do have them. We have eagle owl feathers and abalone.
Yeah, just to help the mind, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to houses, and you know you've got to listen, and you've got to take things step at a time. You've got to suss it out, and I've gone in with a medium as well, so they can actually see what's around. And you know you're messing around with people's lives. And one person, like, she was more scared than anything because the neighbours had said that a witch had lived there previously, and they did all sorts of things there. And it's like it was actually the neighbours who actually caused her to get anxiety.
Yeah,
which then caused a problem.
There is so much power behind being able to seed what somebody thinks.
Yeah.
And once you get them on that, you know, it's great. I mean, we've done it as an experiment to people coming into investigations. Haven't we?
We've planted things in the head without them even knowing to see how they react.
Yeah.
And we filmed it.
But we have told them at the end. We've told them all at the end. This is what we wanted you to come out with. This is what we wanted you to smell. This is what we wanted you to think you saw. And it's you can end up with 8 out of 10 of those results as a definite.
Yeah, that's incredible. It is. Yeah. I just try and get in places like without knowing, and like where I go to a location and take people like Salutation in Nottingham. Been there quite a lot of times. It's my local place. I'll take different people in. I won't say a word to them, and I will see what they get. And then it's to add to my knowledge. Are they getting the same as what I get? And they'll go, "Oh, I've got this. Well, what? Give me more. Give me more." And I'll push them as well because some are a bit, even though they do pick things up mediumistically, that people haven't always got the confidence to say it. So I'll kind of push and push to get more, because they know it. They've got it, and you know, for them to say it. Rather than afterwards say, "Oh yeah, I was going to say that." Well, no, you say it at the beginning. You know,
who looks good now? It's always when they step out in faith, and you actually get a word. You come out and say it, and you say that. You know, don't stand questions, tiptoeing around it. Just go to look them in the eye and say it, because if you don't get it, someone else will, and then they'll step out and say it, and they'll look good, and it's too late then for I was going to say that. But that's exactly what you need. That's exactly the right thing to do, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing like having that outside confirmation to something you already know, but you've remained tight-lipped about. And
that's right.
How majestic. I absolutely love that. My God. Do you know what? You're right. And no one's talked about that. I absolutely love that. Where it comes from, I don't know. Who cares? Is it coincidence? Who cares? But it's fantastic.
Yeah, it does help with the validation-ish. You know what I mean? Like validation, you're just trying to put two and two together all the time, aren't you? And it's just
Absolutely,
one
yeah.
of them. But you're not exactly getting any evidence. EVP, is it really it's hard to get real evidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
And actually
sometimes,
define what evidence is in the paranormal world, yeah.
yeah, because I've got photos of me and they are strange, but then people will say, oh, it's this, and this. But, I've got a backstory to it, and that's it as well. It's having the full story. You've got a photo.
Yeah, you got to have the
Like
context.
anomalies are caused by this. But if you've got a backstory, you've said, Spirit, can you show yourself? And you've got a great big white orb in the picture. Everyone will go, flash shoes, there you go. No. Well, we've asked for this to step in. We know something's around us. We've got this in the picture. I've been taking photos with my DSLR all night in that location with a flash. No other photos like it. And it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, being a scientific team, we would come out with a scientific answer for that.
Yeah, that's the flash and the reflection.
Orb zone.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, like we all know, it's insects, it's water, it's whatever. But
we all work in different ways. It's what makes the
yeah,
world around, doesn't it?
yeah, that's right. But if something happens on demand, can we still say it's a scientific? You can explain it scientifically by photography, and yeah, I will say that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I used a flash, therefore it's not. But we asked for it and we got that. And I don't know.
Or is it coincidental?
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
if we hadn't got one of those all night, and I take loads of photos, why? Like it's the Salvation Caves in Nottingham. I took loads of photos down there.
Yeah,
And it's just a bit weird, like the cameras now are different, aren't they? They don't get as many shit pictures anymore, Obviously, you've got the insect ones, which, you can see them flying around.
Yeah, don't use a white flash. Try, like, maybe a red filter on it. That helps.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I try not to use my flash anyway. DSLR, I usually use it on tripod, a few seconds or whatever.
Yeah, longer exposure.
Yeah, longer exposure. See what
I
can get.
always prefer that anyway.
Well, yeah, that's right. But yeah, but it is incredible. Anyway, back to the para chat.
Yeah.
Anywho,
yeah, we better
over
talk
to you,
about
Marcus.
we better talk about parachat, since that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Go on,
Well,
man.
no, it is about you and about parachat. Like it's nice to know the people who are behind it. Really.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought was really nice and really good? That everybody contacted us to speak on it. We didn't contact them. That was brilliant.
We hardly put any work in there at all. Everybody was so eager to come and lay down the presentation. I'd like to talk about so-and-so. Yeah, do you know what you're in? You're one of the first 10. You're in.
Being PSI that we are, and people know what we're like. I think there was a bit, oh, can we ask them? Because they're a skeptical team. We're like, we're not a skeptical team. But yeah, you can come along and do it. So that's what we said to them. But we've got some good speakers. Really got some good speakers.
Yeah.
Shall I give you a shout? So obviously, we've got you, Jacqueline, talking about. Is it your book?
Well, oh God, I've written it, but I've just got to get it over the line, really. So it's due to get published last year, but through things happening, it wasn't. Then it went somewhere else, and it's with that person at the moment. So,
all right, wonderful. Well, there's nothing wrong with
so we'll see. But
behind the book,
I do hope to get it out this year. But it's written. It's been written since last January. To be fair.
Well, what's the subject matter?
Well, what I'm talking about is basically sort of part of my paranormal journey, and then a link. A lot of the links within my paranormal journey, specifically early, have had a certain character appearing right the way through. If I go to Nottingham, and this spirit kept coming through, and I was actually invited to be a speaker at another Paracon, which I've done it twice there, and it was basically to say, like, yeah, I've met this spirit there, but then he would have worked there, drunk in those two pubs, and live there, because potentially in the 1800s those places existed. Because back in the day, people said there's one spirit, and they're just stuck in one location. Well, just by that conversation, he'd been in 4 locations, and he'd come through on separate investigations, different people there. Turns out that I used to work with him in the past life.
Right.
And even now, he's giving me grief.
But then again, I mean, that did happen a lot in the olden days, didn't it? People didn't go out to their own town or their own village to commute to work. I mean, there was no way of doing that. People did. They drank in that pub, lived in that house, went to that church, and completed that process throughout the rest of their life. So, yeah, I'm not surprised it all happens in one kind of small area.
Yeah, well, Nottingham City. But then, I've got even weirder things going on after that, after I realise, because, like, I'll turn up at the National Justice Museum, this great medium says, "You've got a gentleman with you." And I go, "Who?" "The judge." And, he's the guy who I used to work for in a past life.
Right.
And, it's absolutely mad. And, like, time and time again, Gary Fields has met him as well, and he's brought through stuff from him. I've had people trance and bring him through, even bring through my past life as well. And I've got footage of it as well. It's not, and it's like you just take a person to a location, and all of a sudden this judge appears, and they don't even know the history or the story about it.
No, that's exactly what I was saying about that outside validation earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. Anywho.
And the rest of the speakers, yes.
I don't know if they're watching or they'll be watching back at some point thinking, when they're going to shout me out? Pursuit of the Paranormal.
Awesome.
Also, we've got to investigate us. Myths and Mysteries, Black and White. We've got Para Inc. They're coming and talking about mental health.
That's a big one. Yeah.
In the paranormal, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that talk.
Yeah.
Lanterns of the Lost, which is Andy. I think Andy's here. Ghost Ship. Have you heard of Ghost Ship?
Ghost Ship, I've seen it. So I went to the Celebrity Castle last October, November. And on the way back, I was looking for places to come back on the drive, and I went up the lane to it. I couldn't get on it, obviously. So I've actually seen it. I've got footage of the outside of it. I put it on the Paranormal Path, actually. So I know exactly where the ship is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I know the issues with the access to it and everything. But yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's a stunning place.
Buckley Paranormal. I've not had too much conversations with them at the minute. I need to catch up with them.
No, I do know them. They're local to Doncaster, based in Conisbrough, which is a castle. They've got a castle there. And Dean's big on spirit photography.
Yeah.
And V is a great medium. So yeah, they've been doing it for years basically, and they'd sort of put a lot out on YouTube. So yeah.
So that's 9 speakers, and that we have got time slots, but we haven't given out the times yet when people are speaking. But that is going to take up 5 hours, just those 9 speakers. So I think next time we may have to go over 2 days. We don't know yet, or just a full day rather than just one evening.
We're going to have to be slick.
But next year when we do it, this is the first one we've done. So next year, hopefully, it will be a lot better. We may go the full day rather than just the evening, if you know what I mean. So we can have more speakers. But like I said, we think it's brilliant that we can get these people in because it's free as well.
And they've been so eager to come and talk as well, which has absolutely just been wonderful.
Not everybody has got money to attend these sorts of things, so we thought
this is
they can be expensive, can't they?
Why don't we just give it away? Do it free.
Oh, bless you.
So everybody gets a chance, and so it involves absolutely everybody. You know, they can just turn up, watch, even if they're not speaking, they can still be in. Watching you guys give your presentation and ask questions or whatever. And
absolutely, yeah.
I'm just intrigued about this. Does travelling drunk mean anything? As in, what context to whom, basically? I'm interested in that one, but we'll see what he says on that. But yeah, no, thanks for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh
do
yeah,
people-
we too. Yeah, we can't wait to meet all you guys and like hear your stories and see your presentations and just because it's one of the things that we do. We're genuinely interested.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're asking everybody as well to live stream it. We're not gatekeeping it or anything. We want everybody to photograph it, video it, do whatever they want with it.
If you want to bring your old cameras, film the whole damn lot. We don't care.
It's because a lot of people don't like doing that, do they? But we want it.
Yeah.
So everybody can share it rather than us charge people on YouTube for watching it.
It'd be pretty well. We kind of like talked about this and said it'd be pretty silly to run an event like this that should be accessible to anyone. Anyone who wants to come and read, anybody who wants to come and sit and listen, when it can be expensive, and then to say, oh, you can't share it. No, get it shared. Share it to as many platforms as you can. It's going to be good so more people can see it, you know?
Yeah. The Lanterns of the Lost. So that's a new project by the Lindens.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the content so far on Jaconda Quest. And obviously, they did have that location for a while, so that's going on in the background as well, isn't it? But keep doing work on it, don't they? So
it looks interesting.
But yeah, but it should be interesting. Yeah,
we wanted to have this event open as well for like people with disabilities, people from religious backgrounds, and all types of different. You know, it's for everybody, not just the people in the paranormal community.
All types of walks of life. Just
that's interesting.
Just together.
And it's how to get that out.
A good time.
Are you advertising that locally?
We have been doing. We've got posters what are ready to go out soon as well.
We're putting them out more closer to the time. So it's fresher in people's memories rather than see it and then the poster goes away and then they forget about it kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of what the optimum time is, isn't it, really? Because, I have to promote plays because I'm in a drama group. So, I do a sort of mid-year play. I did a panto as well. So it's about the timing to get it out and everything.
I think it helps when everybody as well that are on the Parachat UK page share it as well. That helps.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
Because it is for the community and it's going to be educational, we think as well. So we want people to be able to learn from it.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what I do. Like if I'm talking and people can take just one thing away from it, and think, oh, so a ghost might be in different places, because like back in the day, it's like, oh yeah, they stay in a place because of this. Well, no, he moves around, and that kind of. People just go with what they hear once and stick with that, don't they?
Yeah.
Rather than open their minds.
You see, that's what we were talking about this earlier. If it's spoken with enough authority, people will believe you, especially if it's something that they haven't heard before. If you say, no, it's like this, blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, there are way too many people out there who do that. And we always fire back with, what evidence have you got for that?
Yeah, that's it.
How can you possibly back that up? And they never reply, do they? They never reply.
See, I think it's good as well. We've got teams coming that are different ends of the spectrum. You've got us what use science quite a lot, and you've got other teams do what they're doing. They're completely different to us. And people have said, but you're scientific. I said, yeah. I said, it's for everybody. It's not just us. It's for every different type of investigator, isn't it?
The way we choose to do it is the way that makes sense to us. I mean, we're very, very similar investigation. I think we realised this very early on, didn't we? I mean, we got involved in a conversation about Ohm's law because Mark was trying to build a circuit and he didn't know which LED to use. So I think that was our very first conversation. I said, have you heard of Ohm's law? Max says, no, what's that? I said, get a pen and paper, I'll show you. You can work it out by like this. And we just got talking about this, but we thought, oh yeah, both like building circuits.
I still don't get Ohm's law.
Oh, it's easy.
Andy said he's working on a little animation to get it promoted.
I do love their art and graphics. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Excellent.
They're great. Yeah.
on the evening as well, we're hoping to do a raffle to get all of some paranormal equipment. You know, these builders what build whatever,
Right.
to see if they'll donate anything, and we're going to raffle it out, and all the money is going to be sent to Children with Cancer UK.
Oh, bless you.
So it's I mean, it's close to me especially, but we're not making anything off this event. Nothing. It's for the community. That's what we're doing it for.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's it. And you're also doing a day as well, are you? Is that your day?
Yeah. It's a PSI event during the day. It's a psychic / craft fair.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome to that. It starts at 11:30. If you wanted your own table, these are charged for a table though, because the hotel is.
That's right. You get charged for the room, don't you, and stuff. So yeah.
So if anybody wants to get a table or even attend, just contact us. And there's a link on our PSI page to the event anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant what you're doing. It really is. I like Anthony. Some say that spirits can visit every place they went to in their life. Do you think that's possible? What I say is, why would you? If it's somewhere you didn't like going in life, you won't go there in death, surely.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's one theory, but we're never going to know that. I don't think.
We're not. But
if
it's somewhere horrible, you wouldn't want to go back to it, would you?
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, to be quite honest, it's I mean, who can say if it's possible? Well, let's say, yeah, it probably is possible.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a massive probably, because I mean, no one knows.
Well, I hope I'm going up there. I'm religious, and that's my belief. So.
Yeah, that's right.
What, into the music room?
No, a bit higher.
Oh, right. I get you.
Yeah. But it's great, isn't it?
You know, we had to take a reserve list as well. People were still contacting us to do a talk, and we couldn't fit.
I know, but we promised to put them on the reserve list, and next time they'll be at the top of the list.
Oh, bless them. Yeah.
All the details.
There's a young guy called Daniel. He's autistic, and his dad takes him to these things, and he knows everything about cryptids.
Yeah,
and I really wanted him, but there was just no room. And I said, look, if somebody cancels, I'm getting you in because I want you to talk.
Yeah, because cryptids is like, not a lot of people cover that, do they? And it's intriguing. It's very intriguing.
I think myths and mysteries are going to cover that.
Right. Okay. I've not had any encounters with those. You see, I don't really know. So that's the thing. It's about meeting different people you haven't met before, and you know that's
hearing these original stories.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't know anybody apart from the Buckleys. We've met them once before.
Yeah.
But everybody else is new to us.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I've met the Buckleys and Lindsons, but
yeah, we're trying not to get into too much trouble in the paranormal world. Sometimes we can't help it, but sometimes we can't keep our mouths closed. But well, the way it goes, isn't it?
You see, we're pretty good at noticing when somebody's faked something using either AI or computer animation.
Yeah.
I can see it because we work. We can do a bit of editing as well, so we know what to look for.
Yeah.
We've upset a lot of people by
recreating portals in the ceiling and having socks fall out of them and having forks and spoons fall out of portals. And they're very impressive.
Do you think AI is bad for the paranormal as a whole?
I think it's bad for everything as a whole.
It is,
You just don't know what to believe anymore, do you?
No, it looks real as well. It does look real.
Some of it is absolutely uncanny, yeah.
These videos with Donald Trump getting up to stuff with a Russian...
Yeah.
The interview with the microphone where he's hitting him in the face and he's just standing there. And funny, but...
It's going to be difficult to spot fake.
And dangerous as well, because people are going to be set up by AI, aren't they?
Well, they are, aren't they? On Facebook, you see them, you know, like certain celebrities are not wearing much, you know, and it's blatantly an AI photo.
And this face
that
technology, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just to let everybody know as well, they can get a room at the hotel. if they wanted to stay over. We're both getting a room,
Absolutely.
aren't we? And
Yeah.
there's a few others that
Absolutely.
are staying because
Well, when Mark says, hang on, when Mark says we're both getting a room, we're both getting
together.
our own room.
Right, bless you.
One
No
room each.
rumours then. Bless
Yes.
you. Sort that one out, yeah. I've tried to get my dog in kennels and I can't. So I'll probably have to drive up and down, which is a shame because I would sort of stay, you know, if I'm going all the way to
Yeah.
Hull, then I'd sort of combine it with a trip to a mum-in-law in Cleethorpes as well. So, you know,
Right.
but I don't, you know, they say the kennel's shutting around that time and they don't know when. So fingers crossed I can get him in the kennels or take him
Right.
somewhere else. But
Right.
yeah, you know, I don't want to just go up for the night and drive back. You know, I want to be there,
Yeah.
there first thing in the morning and sort of
Yeah.
enjoy the day and the night and, you know, be there the next morning. And but you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I've
chill
just got
out,
to
have a
sort
bit
it
of breakfast
out.
with the guys, and
No,
just have a bit of a laugh. And that's the thing that we're looking forward to. It's going to be it's the whole community feel of the damn thing. I don't
yeah,
think
that's
anything
right.
like this has been done before.
Yeah,
But
well, I go to the Parameet, you see, and you know, a lot of people get together and it, you know, we sort of,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just a meeting of like-minded people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about. And you know, there's different people going to yours who I haven't met before, so I'm really looking forward to meeting different people, and that's what it is. It's networking, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely.
You know, and
Absolutely. Yeah. And
yeah,
hopefully, it's like the thing that we said. Hopefully, something that may come out of this is maybe some people from some of the brilliant teams that are coming to speak will go back to their hometowns and think, how can we set up something like this? And we actively encourage it. How can we set something like this up? And I mean, if you get in touch with us for advice or you know, whatever. But it would be nice to be invited as speakers to their event as well, because
yeah, I
we'd
get
be
you.
right there, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
You know, that'd be absolutely lovely.
Can we mention the location as well? We've got
Please do. It sounds brilliant.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the
I've
pictures?
seen photos. Yeah.
It's really, it's top class. It really is. It's like going back to Hogwarts when you walk in.
Oh, incredible.
It is a beautiful location, Jacqueline. It's I mean, there's plenty of parking. It sits atop a luscious golf course. There's a massive pond down far back.
There's a lot of wildlife.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They've got a spa and everything if you wanted to stay the day.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a restaurant and this, that, and the other. They've just got everything. I mean, they're a top grade hotel, so it's
that's great. Yeah.
We wanted a really good location for the first Parachat. That's what it was. So we chose that one. I mean, it's still a bit of a draft for us, isn't it, to get there? But
but it's not beyond possibility.
Whereabouts are you based then?
Hull.
Hull.
Hull, East Yorkshire.
Right.
I think it's about a 35-40 minute drive to get there. It's steadily.
Depends on
if that.
Depends how quick you drive. I got there in 20 minutes. One
Don't have speed cameras then. Bless you. Yeah, 2 a.m. in the morning.
No. We had a meeting, and I was going to take a drone to get some aerial shots.
Right, yeah.
So I just put my foot down one Sunday morning and got there in 20 minutes.
Blimey. That's lucky.
We've got we're trying to sort another meeting out with the management team again because we've got a few more. We've still got to settle a few things as well.
That's it.
Just to make sure that they know everything that we expect and want and need to know for the day. That's
it.
We hate 11th hour. We can't be doing with any of that. We've just got all this. It's there. It's 95% there.
Well, yeah, you go in, you sort out the date, you sort out anything, you know, the high level terms, whatever, and then you go in and sort out the detail, don't you? And
absolutely.
And it is.
The big thing is it's paid for. We've just got to sort out the little details.
Yeah.
So,
that's great.
But if anybody that's watching that is a speaker wants to bring any information what they want to use on in a computer so we can project it on the screen or anything, just bring it. It's Windows 11 on your computer.
It is. I would advise, bring your own computer so we can hook you straight up. But if you've got your information on a USB stick, that's still okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
It will
because I've
play.
got Windows 10 still, so
It'll still play Windows 10, so it's all right.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it's
that's right. Yeah,
if you do a slideshow or anything, it'll play it all.
yeah, yeah. So I've done PowerPoint before, so yeah, I
Yeah,
might do PowerPoint one, but that's a bit old now, isn't it? PowerPoint. Do
Yeah,
people use it anymore? But yeah,
yeah,
Oh.
people do use it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But even if it's a random bunch of photos on a USB stick and you just scroll through them, it
Yeah.
does it?
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's great to chat to you and sort of get more of a insight in what it is really and everything. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
great.
loving fireworks.
fireworks.
How did
Yeah, brilliant. Well done.
how did the fireworks happen?
You did them.
Did we? Is it?
Yeah, nice one.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that lots.
that's cool. I
Come
like
on,
that.
fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't know
so
how you do it, but
if
yeah,
anybody wants to drop us a message on Facebook or whatever about the event, just send us a message.
Yes.
yeah. So basically, look at the Para Chat UK.
Yeah.
All the details are on there. Otherwise,
Absolutely. Yeah.
is that the best way to contact you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Through Messenger or PSI Gmail, anything.
Yeah.
Get us through our PSI page either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you guys bring gifts to the era you may check out for activities?
We bring gifts to the era. What?
I guess if you like trying to do Victorian and you take along a Victorian I gift maybe or something, maybe.
I don't know what you mean by that. Do you get?
I guess it's like dressing. If you want to sort of do a Victorian style and you dress as Victorian, then it's like taking a gift of that era, I guess.
We take trigger objects, but we won't give them away. We'd keep them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We used old coins as trigger objects before.
Oh yeah.
I mean, actually, saying that, I mean, we have done that before, and we've done Victorian sales.
What do you think of the dots? We don't use laser grids.
Laser grid, yeah. I've never had any luck with them.
No, as I said, actually, each to their own.
Yeah.
If you get a particular tool that you like using and suits you, like, hey, that's your bag.
You're better off maybe getting one of them alarm tripwires. What we've got, it's like an infrared light, and if that beam gets broken, it sounds an alarm.
That's cool. Yeah, it's stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
It's what it makes for you as an investigator,
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, trigger items. But thanks so much for the chat anyway. It's been brilliant. Gone round and about, and awesome.
It's been lovely speaking, Jacqueline. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'm
You're
looking
welcome.
forward to it. But yeah, it would be great.
We look forward to meeting everybody.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what it's about, isn't it? And thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody, and thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments and questions. And take care, everybody. Bye.